right, here's TSL.HyuN, our current champion on Fight Club, winning 5 weeks straight. He is the red Zerg on the top left of Ohana, and our challenger, who is about to win 5 games in a row. It is Fnatic.aLive, the purple Terran down in the bottom right. I hope he does it. I'm not even going to hide the fact that I bet on ALive to win the grand finals of IPL 4.
That's right. You did.
And then he lost against Squirtle, and I tried to get people to double or nothing for the second one, and no one wanted to do it, so I lost money.
That's
jerks.
sad.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
Sad.
Who bets and then doesn't bet the double or nothing? That's crazy.
Technicality. You should have had. You should have had that. So because he did end up winning the championship.
He did. Well, I did bet. I bet that ALive was going to 3-0 Squirtle, and he did 3-0 him in the second set. And I tried to play to that, and they just did not have it.
But the whole losing 2-3 in the first set, that didn't work out too well.
So Vegas kicked me out of the city, and I'm not allowed back.
Ah, good. So. What are you going to do for IPL 5? That's a real question.
I don't know. I think maybe I'll try like a satellite phone.
All right. One of the big ones. It's got like the 6-foot-long antenna.
Yeah. I'll park myself in Henderson, Nevada, and just commute via satellite phone. I think that'll work.
Awesome. So hopefully it would be like Jurassic Park as well. And like I just all their communication devices. I love going back and watching old movies that I thought were
briefcase
sweet.
Phones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hold on.
We
to your
spared
butts.
no expense. Anyway. So, hey, it's 15 hatch from HyuN and ALive. Still going with Rack saving up for a gasless fast expand once again. He has done this in basically every game. He did CC first once, but that was the only exception.
This time he's going to win with it.
That's right. How is ALive going to win this game? So
pretty sure he's going to build Battle Hellions and Widow Mines.
There's an upgrade for the Battle Hellions now.
Yeah, and you can do that at the Armory.
Right.
And we'll see if ALive makes use of that or if he's still playing Wings of Liberty, which I think is a mistake at this point.
That's right. Yeah. Should be playing Heart of the Swarm. Of course, Swarm host, though.
Invoked the Fight Club rule of I lost 4 games in a row so we can switch games. That is one of the rules of Fight Club in the intro. I don't know if you guys read that one.
Yes. It goes by pretty quick. I mean, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
Well, ALive does have a second command center on the way. No real surprise. Let's see how long he waits on 2 gases. There's gas number 1. We'll see if a second follows that up. It will. Back on HyuN's side, though, spawning pool coming up at 16, extractor right afterward. So he could roach rush again, but otherwise everything looks very similar to games 1 through 3.
Yeah, we'll see if ALive can actually make the correct unit composition that he'll need to stand up against HyuN's lair aggression that we've been seeing, obviously with Banelink speed being a key component of all of that, and, you know, roaches and lings and mutas. Mutas particularly, some good infestor play also out of HyuN in this series. ALive has not built any Thors. Maybe a Thor rush would be a
easy.
Would be a good win.
2-base Thor rush.
Yeah, dude.
Win the game.
Why not even proxy Thor rush? Just do it.
I'm feeling Sky Terran at the moment. Just BCs and Vikings.
No, you just like that because MVP did it against Curious. Was it Curious last week?
That was such a good game. Oh, my God.
And
the game was amazing.
We do have more Premier games coming tomorrow and Wednesday.
That's right.
More amazing play, potentially MVP caliber players coming out. The team MVP will be playing.
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
So there definitely will be MVP caliber players.
Yeah, if you miss teams like MVP, well, if you have, we've got games coming from them pretty soon. Slayers in there as well. So I think it's MVP versus Slayers tomorrow, so which will be awesome.
Sounds good, and I'll be there, obviously, to cast that as well, I think, or maybe HDMP is there. We'll figure it out as we go along, as everything we do is figured out. But yeah, ALive and HyuN actually playing just pretty passively so far. There are some Lings chasing around an SCV Scout. Actually just one Ling chasing around an SCV Scout, so he might actually get in close enough to take a look at something. This is the 6-minute third hatchery drone that we saw in the first few times, and actually because he turned around to fight that SCV, has dropped exactly 6 minutes.
There you go.
All right.
So 3 hatches, obviously, HyuN, if he goes with the same strategy, we're going to see Roachwarn in a second gas right now. There's Roachwarn. You'll see a second gas. There it is. And in about 3 minutes, we're going to see a Baneling Nest and Lair Tech as he eventually just pushes ahead with a ridiculously strong 13.5-minute max on nothing but Mutalisks, Banelings, and a couple of Speedlings just for fun while he moves up to Hive.
Spoilers.
Yes. Spoilers. That was exactly games 1 through 3, if you're just tuning in, though. That was literally nothing happened but that, and HyuN won all 3 of those.
I really think he's going to switch gears and just go 25 Nidus Worms. I think that's probably what he's going to do.
It's a safe bet. Yeah. It's a safe bet.
Then he just puts 1 unit into each worm, and ALive
it just dances it between all of them.
Yeah, exactly. And ALive won't know where to defend.
We'll play the Benny Hill theme the entire time, too.
Yep. And they'll just be running through doors across each other.
Which Nidus Worm is it in? Which Nidus Worm is it in?
Exactly. So we do have 8 roaches coming out now. This is something that HyuN's done multiple times. We'll see how much damage he's actually going to try and inflict here while ALive is still swapping around his buildings, still adding on a bunch of those add-ons, trying to create as much production as he can before HyuN actually gets overwhelming. And we do have that starport about halfway done as well.
Yeah, starport's about halfway done, but ALive continuing to invest into his infrastructure, switching things up quite a bit, though, I have to say. Almost thought that he was... I kind of had in the back of my mind that he was going to do a strong, like, Marauder Hellion all-in, but he's decided to go against that and just producing a really huge number of attack units. And when Stim actually gets up, which it will here pretty soon, just 45 seconds away, he'll be able to hit with a very strong attack.
Yeah, I think I was seeing something like this on Atlanta Spaceship. I feel like he just needed more units to keep HyuN from actually just doubling up on him, basically, which seems to be what happened in the first few games. So he is making lots of units this time around, looking for maybe a narrow window before Lair actually finishes, where he can try to kill off this third base at least, or at least kill a bunch of drones. So maybe this is going to be it. We can see actually he's starting to move around a little bit now that he's got those 2 medevacs. Yeah, he is actually going to push out. And it looks like some lings, actually, excuse me, roaches are going to be waiting for this forest, so he might actually be able to pick all those off if he's careful.
Yeah, and he sees them right away. Very nice job to use the Hellions to bait forces back into the main bio army. ALive not showing the fact that he has Stim right away, and HyuN's starting to back away as he loses these roaches 1 by 1.
And roaches are only tickled by fire, but if you tickle them enough, they will burn entirely.
Correct.
The first few flames just have a little bit of fire, but that last tickle fire just sets it ablaze. That's how physics and science work, and that's what you see here. But we do have a big Stim up. Finally, a bunch of drones being pulled. HyuN is not taking any chances. He does not want to lose this hatch. He's going to pull tons of drones to actually start taking damage from these Marines, and you can see lings running in from both sides, actually, those left 2 hatcheries and the third base. And the roaches actually still have a concave here. The medevacs have been focused down by the queens the entire time, and ALive is forced to back off, but he killed 25 workers so far.
Yes, he did. Another 11 drones coming up at the same time. It's still remarkable that HyuN was able to keep that many forces alive.
Which he lost so many drones.
Yeah, exactly, which was pretty impressive there, I have to say. So he's still safe for the moment from the follow-up to this. And, of course, ALive decided to, in order to do economic damage, to really set his tech back a bit. He doesn't have tank production going. He is moving into 1-1 with a pure bioforce at the moment. But there we go, finally setting down a tech lab onto this factory. So I certainly think this was a lot better approach than what he's done over the past few games, but it still has its negatives as well, and he is going to have to prepare against this still what's going to be a very strong mid-game army from HyuN.
That's right. He did a lot of damage. Obviously, 25 drones is quite a good pickup there, and he does not have his own third base established yet. That command center, he did build it, but it's not quite ready yet. And he does have a Viking looking around for some tasty overlords to shoot at. We do have 2 medevacs loaded up as well, so the Viking will actually probably just run escort for the medevacs and try to get them into the main and
he's waiting
some tech.
Exactly. He's waiting until the Viking clears things away so he can actually get there a little bit undetected, and should be able to do that pretty efficiently. I don't think there's a Spire been started, though. It's really been the big difference for HyuN, so he's not going to have a lot of air cover. Yeah, and you can see ALive just waiting with these medevacs until the air cover is gone.
That's right. He's going to slowly push back these overlords, perhaps get 1 kill before the queen is just sitting in position. Actually, if ALive moved in now and dropped everything rapidly, he might be able to kill that queen as well. But these lings are so fast on creep that they're going to be able to react very quickly. A round of 52 lings actually just got produced as well. 5 banelings waiting for the drop. Oh, nice. Look at that. 1 Marauder stands up to 5 banelings and neutralizes all of them.
That was really, really well done. So he does take out those, but unfortunately there's enough lings that it looks like most everything else is going to die, although the forces did have enough health that they were able to hold out for a little while and pick off a couple of additional forces. But as we can see, little Zergling blocking this orbital command, unfortunately. Finally have a couple of tanks to help support this army for Alive, and he certainly has made this game quite a bit more competitive, but still a round of 23 banelings coming up, and HyuN is going to power ahead with his huge layer tech strategy.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to drop on Ohana. You don't see it that often because obviously these speedlings are incredibly fast on creep, and if he's just churning out units from even that macro hatch as well, then he's going to be able to make lings to defend drops very, very quickly. There's really only one point of entry on that left side, and he's got it covered now. Obviously, Alive has kind of shown that he's been, using that path. Alive is going around the right side of the map now with a drop, but HyuN has shown up now with tons of roaches, lings, and banelings. He's ready to try and drop the hammer.
Yes, he is. There's a couple of siege tanks sitting in position back here. Another one up at the front as well. That's still a fair number of roaches and banelings, though, and they bust right through the front, killing a couple of siege tanks as well. In fact, the entire siege tank cover is down. There's still a pretty good amount of supply for Alive at the moment, but a lot of it is tied up in workers. He actually has more SCVs than his opponent has drones, and if any of these banelings connect, it could just be curtains right away.
Having this many Zerg units inside your base is terrible as it is, but obviously those baneling explosions just killing everything. Alive down to 105 supply. I'm surprised he even has that much after the crazy carnage we just witnessed, and I don't see 100 supply here, you know what I mean? Like, there's only a handful of Marines.
Yeah, some of it's here,
oh,
some
it's just
of it's
a Viking.
here.
He's got a drop that's not really doing too much damage, and HyuN has just got his foot on the gas. He's basically just going to ride this through, I think. And look at these Marines. Even as they pop out, the lings are able to take them down. There's still a ton of roaches standing as well. All HyuN has to do is pull those drones away and basically outlive the damage that Alive is doing with a single drop, while he just kills everything with these roaches and lings in the main of Alive.
And the lings finally are going to get in here and clean up these Marines eventually. It may take a couple of rounds, but they will get through and kill it. But the production is just all gone now for Alive. He's lost, I believe he lost his factory and his starport, so his tech is basically back to square one. Alive is bunkering up here over at his third and trying to reproduce as much of his tech as possible when we get some bunkers established. But the units, oh my
36 banelings, God. 50 banelings in production now. Yeah, I saw the 36 and went, oh, because 50 banelings is more supply than Alive has.
Correct.
On the map. And they can probably do a lot of damage, but at least we'll have a nice finale.
Oh, here they come. Banelings just killing everything, running through the barracks.
Oh my God.
And everything dies. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a 6-time Fight Club champion. There's GG and HyuN. 5-0s, the IPL 4 champion Fnatic.